right, good. All right, good evening, everyone. I can see so many people joining in already. I love this energy. Good evening, everyone. My name is Yorolu Adetula. I'm a programs associate at Tech for Dev. And you are on the February edition of the Women Techsters Open Day. So I love the energy I'm seeing, and I just need everyone to, comment in the chat box your name, where you from, what country you're from, where you joining us, whether you're from here in Nigeria, whether you're from Kenya, you're from South Africa, you're from Egypt. Join us, and we'll just interact in the comment section below. So kindly join us, everybody. Once again, you're welcome to the Women Techsters Open Day. Welcome to the Women Techsters Open Day, and we have all of our guests. Oh wow, I can already see so many comments. We have all of our panelists ready for us. Oh, hi Mary from Mombasa, Kenya. Wow, how is Mombasa, Kenya going today? Hi Rita. Oh, Rita is here in Nigeria. Hi, how are you, Rita? How is Nigeria? Hi Roberta, how is Ghana today? I love, love, love everyone's energy. You could also tell us, some of your expectations from today's session, what you look forward to doing, when you were registering for this event, what are some of the things that are going through your head? What are your expectations? Hi, Margaret from Nigeria. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet every one of us here. And hi, Jennifer from Nigeria also. Hi, Aminat. Hi, Freddie. You could also just tell us, what you'd like to hear. Oh, wow. Hi, Jane from Japan. Wow, how is Japan today? Wow, hi, Paula. Hello, everyone. Oh, hi, Kapilat. Oh, wow, it's so nice to meet everyone. I really like our energy once again. And also, I would like to hear, your expectations for today's session. If you've ever attended, the open day before any of our Women Textile programs, also let us know. Hi, Sylvia. Oh, okay. I think I saw something from Sophia saying she would like to hear about the journey of our speakers. Oh, awesome, awesome. You're very much in the right place. Hi, Blessing. Hi, Arena. Hi, Fadiat. Hi, Sophia. How love it from Nigeria. Oh, wow. It's nice to see everyone. Oh, hi, Sophie from Cameroon. How is Cameroon going today? Hi, Gloria. Hi, Bridget. So I would just like to, hear from us. Oh, it's your first time here. Oh, wow. Welcome. You will be very, very amazed. I can assure that to you. Sylvia from Kenya. Yes, I can see that. Hi, Franca. Hi. Hi. I don't want to mispronounce your name. But I hope Egypt is going well today. Yes, yes. So it's really nice to see Ola. Oh, hi, Valentina. Oh, wow. First time here also. Awesome, awesome. Hi, Ruth. So just stay tuned. We have a whole lot packed for you in today's session. And shortly now, I'll be calling up Blessing. Hi, Blessing. To just give us an introduction into what is expected of today. Hi, Blessing.
Hi, Orelua. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon from Nigeria. I'm super excited to be here again. In case you're wondering where you are, this is the Women Textiles Open Day for February. I think February is a jam-packed month because this is our second open day. We initially had an open day, a specialized open day in Arabic, and now we have the open day in English. It's amazing. Thank you everyone for joining us from wherever you are. Before I proceed, I would like to say a very big thank you to all of the amazing speakers we have today, from Ezra to Anna to Bukola to Cynthia that will be facilitating today's meeting. Thank you for taking out time from your very, very, very busy schedule. I know how your schedules can be, but you took out time to be part of this meeting today. And we're really glad to have you join us. I bring greetings from our executive director. You'll be hearing our remarks shortly. So wherever you're joining us from, hello to you. I'm glad you're here. This is like this is officially the last open day for the calendar year, and we are really, really, really excited. It's been a journey. We've had multiple open days from March to April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and January, and then 2 in February. So if this is your first time, we are really excited that you made the decision to be a part of this. For first timers, something you need to know is that this is like your very first journey to become, getting into tech. A lot of people are always excited about tech. Sometimes we can be we can get twisted, confused. One of the key things I've heard so far is a lot of people always say, I was going to tech, but I don't want to code. But you don't really have to code for you to get into tech because there are lots of opportunities in tech that does not require coding. The open day here gives you the opportunity to learn from diverse speakers, gives you opportunity to the learn lessons from these women in their respective careers and fields, how they are doing, how they get to manage work, family life, and the balance between it, how they get to travel, if they have time for themselves, how they also make impact as women within their respective community. So this is a good place for you to learn. This is a good place for you to also start your journey. One of the things you also get to learn within the open days to learn about Women Techsters initiatives and the different programs that you can sign up for. We have a program for every level. So in case this is your first time, chatting around the career in tech, this is a good place to start. In case you started tech already and you're looking at advancing your skill set as well, this is also a good place because you get to learn about the multiple initiatives we have, from the Women Techsters Bootcamp, which is a three weeks training, where you can learn 5 learning tracks: product design, product management, data analysis, cybersecurity, and software development. 3 weeks for free, or you get to learn about the fellowship that will be starting very soon. Fellowship is for 1 year, 6 months of intense training, and then 6 months of internship. And within these 6 months, you also get to learn a lot of soft skills training. It's an amazing time, although it can be very, very, very time demanding because it's a school that you have to go through the regular process. But trust me, it's an opportunity for you to interact with women across 15 African countries. It's an opportunity for you to interact with instructors who are also not in your country. It's a good time to learn from other women. The beautiful thing is that it's an all women's program. You get to learn from other women. You get to learn culture, diversity. You get to collaborate on projects and on multiple other things. So it's really a great time on the fellowship. And then you also get to know about the masterclass. It's a specialized training in different learning tracks for people who already have 6 to 5 years of experience within the learning track focus. We always have 8 learning tracks. The good news is that we have a masterclass that will be scheduled for next week. You get further information as we proceed, and if you follow us on our social media, you also get to get lots and lots and lots of information. So I don't want to speak too much. I think I've said a lot. I would like to welcome you again officially. Thank you for joining us. And something I usually say as I end of my speech is, you need 3 things basically for you to be able to do well in this meeting today. You need your mind, you need to be here so that you can learn. You need a writing material. Remember that your brain can remember. It can be very photographic, but you need to be able to bend down so you can go back and jot down. And most importantly is that you also need a stable internet. So you might want to get another source of internet, just how it works. So you have like a multiple source of it switching. But trust me, you are in for an amazing. Right? So welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Sit tight, enjoy yourself. So we're moving on very quickly. I would like to invite my colleague Olushola Ogunbiyi to give the opening remarks on behalf of the Executive Director Oladura Oladipo on our absence today. Olushola is the Partnership Engagement Manager at Tech for Them, and she's a beautiful face behind most of the partnership we see at Tech for Them. Olushola, it's good to have you join us on Open Day today. Welcome to our session, and over to you.
Thank you very much, Blessing, for that introduction. Welcome, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I really want to thank everyone for joining the February 2023 rather. 2023, it still gets a hang. I still have to say 2023. Since 2003 edition of our virtual Women Techsters Open program, we're elated to have you wonderful women from across Africa to join us today. To learn about how to pursue your interest in technology. I also especially like to welcome, every prospective woman on this call today
who has joined us, just to learn about how you can start your career in tech through our Open Day program. I'll just quickly run through some of our recent highlights from the Women Techsters program. So in January, we admitted 2,129 women to the 2.5 Women Techsters Bootcamp. And it's exciting to note that we'll be having their graduation ceremony in a couple of days. Like, it's really exciting to know that batch of people are going to graduate in a couple of days. And earlier this month, we held our first language specific open day. So basically we had our open day in Arabic, and we had over 300 Arabic speaking women register for that event. I mean, it was really exciting to see also. And then on the 16th of February this month, Women Techsters Fellowship class of 2023, from over 15 African countries, I should add, like Blessing had mentioned, they wrote their final exams. And it's so exciting to know that 800 of these women, over 800 in fact, I think over 800 have completed these exams, and they're putting finishing touches to their capstone project, getting ready for career week and their graduation ceremony. We have mothers, daughters, wives, students, and workers for the last 6 months who literally have juggled their personal lives with the Women Techsters Fellowship. And they're just all striving to become better versions of themselves. And one example is Faith. I would like to talk about Faith. Faith heard about the Women Techsters program from a friend, and she jumped at the opportunity because it was free. She wanted to transition into the tech community, and then she just figured that this was an opportunity because it came at no cost to the beneficiaries. So she chose to learn cybersecurity, and it's safe to say that without the Women Techsters program, I mean, she would not have been able to add value into her current role. I mean, it's amazing to see Faith's journey and how she's living her dream to become a cybersecurity expert. I mean, stories like Faith give us the strength and zeal to continue the work that we're doing at Tech for Dev. So Women Techsters is possible through our organization Tech for Dev. And Tech for Dev is a non-for-profit that creates access to decent work and entrepreneurship opportunities and platforms for Africans through digital and technology skills, empowerment, and advocacy. Our vision is to equip Africans with digital and life skills that foster economic prosperity, financial freedom, and sustainable development. So the Women Techsters is an initiative of Tech for Dev. It aims to bridge the digital divide between men and women. And through our pilot program, the Nigerian Women Techsters, we enabled almost 3,000 women between the ages of 16 to 40 across Nigeria over a 3-year period. So driven by the success stories of women from the Nigerian Women Techsters, such stories like Fatima, Tomi, Patience, amongst others, we carved a new ambition to dream to replicate this model across Africa, providing more women access to opportunities. Our dream by 2023 is to reach 5 million women. I let that sink in. 5 million women, because we believe that empowering them with the skills and knowledge and whatever it takes to partake in this industry is where you can is here. So basically, Women Techsters Open Day, which is what you're currently on, is a virtual program organized for women across Africa to learn about how they can leverage the power of technology to start to advance their careers. So the Open Day is an opportunity for women to interact with successful women who have built careers and businesses and technologies over the years. These people are going to share their personal experiences. They're going to speak about possible career paths and in business opportunities to help women like yourselves appreciate the importance of acquiring digital and deep skills in this digital age. So we appreciate Microsoft, Islamic Development Bank, and the Central Bank of Egypt for collaborating with us at Tech for Dev to bring this initiative to life. And we look forward to improving the lives of many women across Africa. I would like to appreciate everybody on this call today. I mean, thank you so much for joining us. And I want to even say a big thank you to our guest speakers. That's Anna, Ezra, Kola, and our moderator, Cynthia, for taking time out of their very busy schedules. It's not easy to, get people to take time out of their days just to come and share your stories with people. So we really appreciate you guys. And I want to say, I'm looking forward to a wonderful conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much, Olushola. Thank you so much for that introduction. And of course, like I said earlier, our panelists are right here ready for us. But shortly, just before going to the fireside chat, I would like to play us a video just to, emphasize some of the things that Olushola just told us. So sit back and, enjoy this video of a meet and greet that we had here in Vegas.
There's an African proverb that says that when you train a woman, you train a nation. When you train a woman has the ability to provide some sort of like 3x on ROI or whatever training it is that you give to a woman. If the training is meant to provide some sort of financial freedom, for example, for the woman, which is the case of the Women Techsters, we believe that women are able to then provide for their families, which then immediately also allows for the families' income generation to impact that of their immediate community or impact that of the nation. The problem we're trying to solve when we initiated the Women Techsters program is being able to bring women to partake within the opportunities that exist within the technology ecosystem and actually finding a balance, which is having more women join the ecosystem to be able to both partake of the opportunities and also be able to contribute to the industry.
By 2030, we want 5 million women to be empowered with technical skills and use their skills to either start up their tech-enabled businesses, further their career in the tech space, or establish their own tech startups and tech-enabled businesses.
Microsoft has been an amazing and fantastic partner. Just beyond supporting us with funds, has actually gone into supporting us, like giving us technical support, like donating Azure to us, donating licenses to us, and supporting us with other forms of software and hardware to ensure that we're able to deliver effectively on whatever program it is we're partnering on.
Today is the meet and greet event that is holding in Lagos State. The meet and greet event is organized for our Women Techsters program beneficiaries to be able to have a physical connect. Because of the COVID-19, we're not able to have a physical meet-up. So most of our training has been carried out virtually, and we have women connecting online.
Community building is very important to the Women Techsters initiative. It's a community that allows women to grow, women who haven't ever been in the tech space, to grow, encourage themselves, and just keep on pushing themselves to succeed.
If I were to describe my experience in the Women Techsters program,
awesome. I would say it was phenomenal.
For me, it's inspiring.
Mind-blowing.
My experience at the meet and greet has been so beautiful. It was so nice to say, Amaka, you are Favor, you are Asat.
So it's been really awesome how that those you related with virtually, you're now able to put a face to the name. I've tried many things. I've tried to go for other classes and they just didn't work out. It looked impossible. At a point, I just felt maybe this is not for me. Tech for the Women Techsters, Microsoft gave me the opportunity to see that it is for me. And it's a big thank you from this end.
I'm so grateful that there's a platform like this that other women can join and scale up in tech.
They're doing so much to see that women become better versions of themselves and go out there and explore tech.
I thank Microsoft for their open hands, for believing so much in a girl child. I think the best way to appreciate these two wonderful organizations is by not stopping here.
To any young woman out there who is trying to get into the tech space, I would say, believe in yourself. You can actually do it. Tech is not as difficult as people think it is. There are tons of career paths within technology that even have nothing to do with you writing a line of code. I mean, for example, there's product design, there's product management, there's data analysis, and amongst others. So I would say to every woman, believe in yourself. Whatever you think you can achieve, you can do it.
All right, so I believe that was inspiring for one or two persons on this one, but I might say I might add more. So just let me hear you in the chat box. Please just keep your messages coming. Tell us what you're expecting to hear from this. And while that is gonna wow, I can see that was mind blowing. Yes, it was. So while that is going on, I'll quickly go through the bios of our speakers and our moderator here so that we can get to know who they are and what they'll be sharing with us. So I'll start with Ezra Abu Talib. Ezra is currently a senior product manager. She's passionate about building products and making it change. She's an ex-software manager with 10 plus years of experience in the field of software engineering. As a manager, she has demonstrated capabilities in building and scaling teams and business operations, growing her own business unit from 8 to 40 engineers in less than 2 years and delivering over 10,000 project hours to top clients around the globe while maintaining quality and committing to different industry standards. On a personal level, she finds passion in new challenges and finding solutions to complex problems. So I'll read Anna. So this is the bio of Anna Collard. So Anna Collard is currently the senior SVP of Content Strategy and Evangelist for Nobi for Africa, where she drives security awareness across the African continent. Collard founded security content publisher Popcorn Training, which was acquired by Nobi4 in 2018. Anna won the Women in Tech Innovations Throughout Africa 2020 Award for Southern and Central Africa. She featured in the top 50 women in cybersecurity Africa 2020, as well as the top 100 women in cyber 2020 and 2021 globally by Cyber Defense Magazine. She was awarded the ISACA South Africa Prestigious President Award for 2020, and she featured in UK's IT Security Guru 21 Most Inspiring Women in Cyber in 2021, as well as IFSEC Global Influencer in Security for 2022. And of course, moving on to our third speaker, Bukola. So Bukola Bisuga currently works as a software engineer at Microsoft in Lagos, Nigeria, on the Microsoft Mixed Reality team. Prior to that, she had worked with InstaSwitch as a software engineer. She's experienced in front-end and back-end technologies, including JavaScript and Java, and recently cloud technologies, including Azure and GCP. She contributes to the tech community through She Code Africa, where she currently co-leads the DevOps channel. She has a passion for organizing and teaching, which prompted her to join She Code Africa as a technical coordinator. She loves opportunities like this to give back to other women and get started in their tech career. And now onto our moderator, Cynthia Caxton. Cynthia Caxton is an amazing and talented data-driven experience and product designer with expertise in solving real-world user problems and creating useful, practical, and functional solutions. She has had the opportunity to offer solutions for various sectors, including e-commerce, health, M&E, and many more. She has also been teaching and mentoring individuals in the field of UI/UX design. She's currently a facilitator for the TechFedEv Women Techsters Fellowship, a product design mentor at ADP List, and was an instructor for the UI/UX stream of the Fasha 4.0 Women in Tech program. Now, I'm pretty sure that you are amazed at some of the bios of our speaker. And right now, I'll pass the baton over to our moderator today, Cynthia. Hi, Cynthia.
Hello, hi, Ore.
Hi, Cynthia. Yes, so it's over to you. We'll start our fireside chat right about now, and the floor is yours.
All right, thank you so much, Ore. So it's totally awesome to be here. I am actually really excited to see how this event unwraps and to speak with awesome speakers today. So before we begin anything, I think it will be nice to hear the stories of our speakers today. So I'm going to start off according to how I can see you on my screen. So Ezra, just tell us about how you get into tech, how your career journey in general. Just let us know. The girls on here, let's hear your story.
Thank you, Cynthia. It's definitely exciting to be here. Thank you for this invitation. And I'm really admiring what you're doing. So wish you all the success. Okay, so I started like 11 years ago as a software embedded engineer in Valeo, which is a French automotive tier one supplier. I've worked with different OEMs. OEMs, it means car manufacturers like Mercedes, BMW, Toyota, and all of these big guys. So it was definitely an exciting journey for me as a software engineer. Just graduated from computer engineering, and then midway, I decided that I will take more of a leadership position. So I took on a position as a project manager. And this was definitely exciting because I always had it in me that I wanted to lead and drive things towards good outcomes. And then I felt that something is missing there. So I went to team management. So this is where I became a team manager, and I was able to scale my team as you've mentioned in the introduction. And still, while doing that, which was great, by the way, like helping your team of engineers who are just starting out in their careers, achieve their goals is definitely rewarding. But I still feel that something is missing because I've always liked the exposure of the business with the product. And then when I had the opportunity, I moved to product management. This is where I think it encompasses all of the skills and all of the things that I've been looking for, where you can practice your leadership, where you can practice your tech knowledge, where you can really stay customer centric, and you have to be really organized and data driven.
So thank you so much, Ezra. That raises a lot of questions, that I'd like to ask you, but let's hear from our speakers. Let's just hear their stories and then we'll get back to the questions, right? So ladies, get your pen and paper, your notes, everything ready. If you have questions, just note them down. Once we are done with this session, we'll be receiving questions from you. So Bukola, I would like you to go next. Just tell us what your story is like. How did you transition into tech, or how did you get into tech? Because I know you have a very interesting background.
Thank you, Cynthia. Hi, everyone. I just want to first of all say thank you for the opportunity to be here today. I'm really excited. I always love talking about, my story because I've been inspired by so many people. So I hope that, I can inspire as many people that I can reach. So I started my journey about it's not been up to 5 years, but let's say late 2017. I just graduated from the university and completed my compulsory federal youth service thing that Nigerians know about. And I was looking for a job. I couldn't find any job related to what I studied in school. So I studied geophysics in the university for 5 years. And when I got out, I was unable to land any useful roles. And so I started looking for things that I could do. I started, writing on some like freelance platforms like Fiverr. Some of you might know Fiverr and Upwork. And, from there, I met a couple of people, and then somehow I started relating with someone who kind of told me about, oh, there's this tech thing that people are doing now. And I'm like, oh, what is that? I didn't even have a computer until a few months earlier. And so I started looking it up. I started looking at YouTube for videos and things like that. At the time, I didn't have any friends who were in the field. So I was literally on my own. I didn't know about any communities at the time either. So I gave up for a short while, to be honest. And I just decided to do something else. But after a while, I looked at it again and I'm like, oh, I think I might be able to do this. And I started learning Python. And then, researching online, I found out there was this huge tech community on Twitter. So that same year, 2017, I joined Twitter and I started reaching out to people, looking out for opportunities, following pages that were, sharing information. And that was basically how I got started. And, I started, then there were a lot of places in Lagos you could go to sit down for free and learn with a group of people. And I would do that a lot, And eventually, by the end of 2017, which was maybe 5 months after I had started, I got my first role as a front-end engineer or a front-end developer. and I started like building front-end things. And same later or earlier in 2018, I continued that. But I decided I wanted to work in a more corporate setting because I really wanted that feel of, you know, how the tech world really impacts society more than just building websites. And then that was when I got the role at InterSwitch. And I started off as an intern. It was my first official internship role. And I had to start learning so many new technologies. I had to start learning backend. I had to start learning DevOps for deployment. It was really tasking. I mean, I did feel like giving up a lot of times, but you know, I just kept on going and just kept on putting my head in there. And I was at InterSwitch for 3 years, from 2018 to 2021. And by then, I had learned so much about the fintech industry. Like, you know, I was so like knowledgeable about it. I even considered starting my own at some point, but I think I'm happy I didn't. But like, yeah, it was really an interesting period for me, you know, coming from just like a pure science background and, you know, entering technology. It was actually very amazing. So around mid 2021, I got an offer from Microsoft, which I'm happy is one of the sponsors for Tech for Dev. I'm really proud to work there, and I work as a software engineer slash cloud engineer, where I do a lot of, you know, work pertaining to services on Azure cloud platform and so on and so forth. So I'm still with Microsoft happily, and I really enjoy what I do. I do believe though that tech is like a journey for me. So I just take everything as I go. I don't feel like anyone is restricted to do one thing. You know, you might software engineering today and tomorrow you find yourself doing something that's like, as you mentioned, like project management or product management. But that's the beauty of tech for me, is the fact that you can explore so many sides of yourself and be, you know, the best you can be at each different, you know, level of things. So yeah, that's pretty much my story in a nutshell.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bukola, for sharing. That's very inspiring. Thank you so much. All right, so moving on to Anna, I would really like to hear what your story is in terms of, you know, women in tech, your career, you know.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks everyone for joining and for having me. I feel like I'm the grandmother in the call because I've been in tech for 20 years, but I never started out in it. I actually wanted to study art, and my dad was like, no, there's no money in art. Then I wanted to do languages. He said, no, there's no money in languages. So I ended up doing like a BA in international economics. Didn't like economics at all, but it was sort of a coincidence that I then, because they paid better than waitressing, I worked at Siemens as a student. And they then asked me to write my thesis. This was 2001. They said, well, Anna, you can write it in mobility, CRM, or security. And I'm like, I know nothing about any of these things, but security sounds cool. And that was it. So that's how I got into cybersecurity, or back then it was called information security. I always felt like a complete imposter because I didn't have a tech background. I wasn't an engineer. I was thrown in the deep end with my mainly male engineering colleagues. So the first few years, like in my beginning 20s, I really suffered from imposter syndrome. I worked so much harder, than my colleagues, I think, just because I felt I had to like catch up. But yeah, I think the hard work paid off. And then long story short, I ended up then eventually becoming a security auditor, a security consultant, a security architect, like really working for big, massive corporations, doing, designing the architecture for Old Mutual in South Africa. I did audits in America on government agencies. It's also crazy. But I then started my own business, probably when I got married. So that was 2011. And then because I loved art, like I told you guys in the beginning, I combined what I loved, which is art and drawing, and I drew like a cartoon storyboard of cybersecurity principles, pitched it to my customer, which was Old Mutual. They loved it, and that was the beginning of Popcorn Training. And obviously that there a lot of of blood and sweat went into that, but a few years later, we then got acquired by a KnowBe4 American company, and now I still work for them, but more on the research side. So that's my story. 20 years and 2 minutes.
Thank you so much, Anna. That's a huge one. 20 years is a lot, and I can imagine all the, back and forth, the struggle with your background and all that. So since you're already here, I think I have a question that I want to, ask you. So I know 20 years, that's a long year. You definitely, hit some milestones. Could you try maybe sharing some milestones with us here?
Yeah, I think the first one was really having the opportunity to work, to just by coincidence fall into Siemens because they paid better than waitressing, and then having the opportunity to write my economics diploma thesis in security. And then I think something that it's not just in cybersecurity, it's anything in tech. If you enjoy learning, it's something that I do. I love, even though I've been in it for 20 years, I'm still a beginner. Every day there's new trends, fortunately I have to jump off earlier because I'm joining a panel discussion on AI and, the security implications of it. And let's be honest, I'm not an AI expert, but with everything going on, you have to be on it all the time and learn. So that milestones, that was the first one. I guess the second one was to sort of work for Dimension Data, which is a South African network integrator, and I managed to work for their global team, which got me exposed to a lot of multiple different corporations, and then taking the plunge. But mind you, that was after working there for 10 years to then become independent, do my own thing. But I think having been in corporate for 10 years really helped me because I learned a lot. I met a lot of people. I got to, see other companies from the inside. But that was definitely the next milestone. And then having the business sold or getting acquired by an American company was huge. That was a big milestone. Yes.
Yeah.
And then obviously little things like having babies and getting married.
Definitely, those are milestones. Thank you so much, Anna, for sharing. All right, so we've heard the stories of our speakers today, and I'm sure we have a lot of questions that are coming. So we are ladies on here. We know that there's this thought around, oh, I'm going to tech, and the tech world is dominated by maybe bills, but then there are other things that we could do. I mean, software development, product design, cybersecurity, product management. There are a lot of things in tech, and the moment you go into tech, you begin to feel some kind of air around imposter syndromes and all that. So I'd like to direct my next question to Bukola. So definitely being a software developer is not biz, right? It's not a walk in the park, right? So can you maybe share with us, have you had, imposter syndrome in your journey when you were starting out?
Yes. In fact, as it may sound, I still experience it from time to time when I'm doing something that I probably haven't done before, or something I find ridiculously challenging, and I begin to think to myself oh my God, I should have gone to school to study computer science. Why am I here? I don't even have the background knowledge. Many times I'm trying to solve a problem and I have to go deep down, to the basics, to the theory, to the foundation of the topic. It's trying to learn about CPU, memory, runtime, things that, you probably won't see in a coding tutorial, things that you probably won't get from Googling, the answer to a problem you're having. Sometimes you have to go that deep, especially now that I'm, delving a lot more into cloud and DevOps. There's so many things, so many fundamentals, understanding the history of computers, understanding things like that. And so every day, most times I find myself in that state of, am I good enough? Can I do this? Am I going to succeed? But truth is, it's really not about the imposter syndrome. You'd be surprised that a lot of successful people, have that, even with the amount of success that they've had, they still face it. The thing is having imposter syndrome, but still being able to move on and continue. You know, being able to tell yourself that you will get past it, whether it's there or not, is not the issue. It's what you do with it or without it that matters. So you have to keep on going on. You have to keep on challenging yourself. You'll come across people that you feel, oh, this person is better than me. Oh, this person knows much more than me. That is not, that's not going to ever stop. You, at every point you get to in your life, you always meet someone who you think is better than you or smarter than you or knows more than you or is a better subject matter expert. So if you allow things like that to get in your own personal way, you know, you won't really make progress. So you have to just keep trying, because the truth is, comparing yourself to others most times is a cause of imposter syndrome that people don't like to admit. They just think it's because they can't do it. It's mostly because you've seen someone else do it and you're wondering, why can't I do it? You know, why can't I be like this person? So I think for me, it's just understanding that my story is different, my journey is different, and regardless of the challenges I face, I'm always going to like keep pushing and doing my best, and I know that I will make it to where I'm supposed to. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Bukola, for sharing. Thank you so much. All right, so we've heard stories, background stories. We've heard about, milestones that you can actually reach if you're in tech. We've heard about the imposter syndrome and how she handles imposter syndrome, right? So now we want to hear how to start in tech. What are the major steps that you need to take? So my question would be directed at Ezra. So yeah, so from your experience, what are the three most important factors to consider when starting into tech?
Okay, this is a very good question, and there is no perfect answer for sure. I would say the three most important things from my point of view. But before I say that, I want to emphasize that to everyone in the call, to all the women, that there is a lot. I used to work in Valais, which is a French automotive company in Egypt. We had like, I don't know, maybe around 30 something percent of the engineers in the company women. It's almost a similar story in Trella now. So women are doing a great job in the tech scene. You can do it. So don't ever feel like you don't deserve to be there or you are not smart enough or anything like that, because I'm sure that you can totally do it. And what I can tell you from my experience, because I started directly after I graduated into tech, that you have to, the first thing is you have to do. As simple as it sounds, you have to do. Okay, so you might be like wanting to start a career, or you just join the company. You have to do things even if you're afraid of doing it. If you're afraid of writing a piece of code, write something even if it's gibberish, and then start over the next day. You have to show progress. This is really what separates great talents from other people, that great talents are not afraid of doing, making mistakes, and then correcting it the next day. So this is the first thing I can tell you. Don't ever stand still. You have to keep moving. You have to keep doing. There's a lot of online platforms like HackerRank, LeetCode, a zillion things out there that can make you, help you practice. And even if you're not seeking it in development, if you're seeking it in product design or whatever, also you get Figma. Try out to do something. If it doesn't look good in the first prototype, I'm sure in 10th prototype, you will do an amazing thing. The second part that I would say, that you have to get the right support and learning, which means that you have to stay connected to whatever is relevant and happening in the tech scene. So don't just stay in a cocoon and then focus on one aspect. There's a lot going on in the tech scene. Things are moving really fast. People are giving out advices and new learnings every day. So you have to stay connected. If you're seeking in development, check out GitHub, product management. There's a lot of people who are very inspirational on LinkedIn. You can follow tons of books that you can read. And one good thing that you can do always is that you can be the person supporting others. Because when you are supporting others, you're practicing what you already know. And this is really a good way for you to move up and be better and competent. So this is my second advice. My last advice, but maybe you do not have to feel pressure doing it at the beginning of your career. That is very important in mind, especially women. Personal branding. Usually women work in the dark and then they don't claim what's right for them. So even if you're working in 100% healthy culture and you're 100% confident that the organization has the right system in place to evaluate you, you have to speak up about what you're doing and how it aligns with the vision of the company, how it aligns with the vision of the team, how we are doing this and supporting the team. But you have to be careful not to do this by overshadowing your teammates' efforts or by overshadowing everyone else. You're doing it in a healthy way. So don't just work in the dark and speak of your achievements, because this is very important in any career.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ezra. So I think in your second point, you mentioned about just do it, right? Just start, right? So I want to ask, definitely, you know, you have had challenges and stuff when starting out. So what are like the significant hurdles that you faced during your career journey, and how did you overcome these challenges?
Well, it will mainly reflect on the, let's say, the personal branding part, okay? And I might add another hurdle, but it's more in the midway. So it was, yes, I used to always think that if I'm doing a good job and if I'm delivering on time and if I'm doing all the tasks I have to do, this is perfect, okay? But this is not the case, because you're working in a world with billions of people. And it's very important that you, I wouldn't say that to put stress or on yourself that you have to be unique or you have to do something totally different. No, you don't have to do that. But you have to value yourself and position yourself well in your team or your company. I would say that for the other part that might be, I wouldn't say in the middle of the career, it's important wherever, that you have to, one of the hard things that you will face in your career is that you have to stay true to yourself, true to your values and ethics all the time. And this definitely is a challenge, especially as you go up in your career. It's not really easy to win a situation without, how to say it, without like breaching your work values. So you have to always know what is your boundaries, what is your no, and what is your work ethics, and then you have to stick to it. Because if you drift from it, and you will find lots of people around you are drifting easily, and they will do whatever they want just to win, then you will definitely feel very miserable down the line. So stay really true to your work values and use it as a compass throughout your career.
Guide you. Yeah, thank you so much, Ezra, for sharing. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to direct my next question at Anna. So how would you rate the change, you know, in the tech industry, especially when it comes to women inclusion?
Before I answer that, I just wanted to say I really enjoyed what the two ladies before me said. I feel the same. So really concur with that. I think it's nice to see it. I don't know whether that's maybe because of COVID or something. I just feel in the last 2-3 years, there is a bit more of a conscious effort around, bringing women in, and we have these, I mean, look, like I said earlier, I've worked all these years in technology, and only in the like since 2020, I've won all these awards. I'm like, hello guys, I've been around forever. But I think it's, you know, some people say, oh, you know, you shouldn't get an award for being a woman in tech. You should get an award for being a person in tech. But it's good to have these platforms right now, because it's one way of shining the light on people that are in it. And that's also to what Ezra said. yes, unfortunately, this is the world today. You have to self-promote yourself a little bit, but you can always do it with keeping your values intact. And I think one of the best ways, which is also I really, really concur with that, is if you can shine the light onto your teammates. If you can make others, and particularly if you're then in management, if you can encourage someone, empower someone, particularly a younger person in your team, or look, it doesn't matter whether it's female or male, but often it's nice as a woman to encourage another woman. It will reflect good on you. So that's the other thing, is you don't have to always boost your own ego. It's good to show up as a team, and yeah, like to give you an example, today I had somebody installing something like a sound system, and I WhatsApped his boss, and I said he was such a pleasure to be around. He did really well, and then everybody feels good about it, and then the project has a positive feel. And I think that's generally in life I find very important, is to, you can choose, like, you can never choose who you work for. No, you can, but you can't choose your circumstances necessarily, your external environment. You have very little control over what other people will do, say, or feel. The only thing you have control over is your own, like, what you feel inside, and that has such a big impact on your success. So choose to put goggles on that will focus on the positive things. If you try and find the bad stuff, you will always find the bad stuff. If I tell you, look for 5 white things in the room, you will find those white things, because that's what you program your mind to see. So try and focus on the positive and encourage others around you, and then it will automatically happen that you will succeed as well. I think that, that's all I have to say.
All right. So would you say that there's more inclusion right now than they were when you started?
Yes, look, there's still a long way to go. I think there's still a long way to go. Like particularly in cybersecurity, depending on which area. I mean, Europe is much worse even than Africa. And I went to Germany the other day, and I was the only woman in this whole conference. And yeah, I think that it's like 6% of women in cyber in Europe. So that's way too little. But I think that there's definitely more of an awareness around it. And also, initiatives like this is great to have, to actually have a goal, like bringing 5 million girls into the industry. Let's do this by maybe not just 2030, but 2025, and add another 5 million, I think that is great, and yeah, I have a feeling somehow that there's more positive development in that field.
All right, thank you so much, Anna. So speaking about initiatives and platforms, I'm going to direct my next question to Bukola. So when you were starting out in tech, were there any fellowship or communities that were instrumental in your success stories? And can you share them with us if there are any?
Yes, of course. Like I mentioned, I didn't really have friends or like know anyone who was in tech at the time. So after like a ton of search on Google, I saw that there was a budding community on Twitter. So the first thing I went and did was I went to join Twitter, and I started Googling names of people and, organizations, like Google developers, or Facebook developers, like things like that. And I would like just follow them. Sometimes maybe from time to time, send them messages, get some responses. I'd follow people who created content, tech content, like people who posted videos, made courses on YouTube, had their own like course websites and things like that. I think one that really worked well with me was Free Code Camp. I did so much Free Code Camp when I started, like a lot of Free Code Camp, and it's free. I didn't have to pay for anything. It was online. I could do it from home, so definitely Free Code Camp really helped me, jump into front end. And there was also Code Academy as well that I used. Code Academy was free-ish up to a point, and then maybe there was some subscription for some more advanced knowledge. But those two were like my tools. And then at the time, there was a time I actually didn't have a laptop anymore. So I had to start coding on my phone. And, I downloaded this app called Solo Learn. It has a ton of languages and, an active community where you can even ask people questions and say, oh, I don't understand how this works. And people would respond to you. And it was free as well. I think it's free to a very large extent now. And I used that. And, at a point, I became like number one, solo learner in Nigeria at some point. And I posted it on my Twitter and, I was so excited. And it got me like, people congratulating me and saying, oh, hey, oh, you're into tech, you're just getting started. And, so definitely I do agree with what Ezra and Anne has said, like, putting yourself out there, just doing it regardless. Like, don't let anything hold you back. Join communities. There's so many free communities out there. And then, later on, I started joining other more intimate communities like She Code Africa that is, closer to home. And not only did I join as a learner, I think I also started, after my first encounter with them, I started just teaching HTML because that was the only thing I knew how to do at the time, and it's not like I knew it like perfectly, but I mean, I could teach it because I'd used it enough. And then, CSS as well. And then after a while, I threw in some JavaScript and, I started teaching people how to do calculators online and websites. And, definitely I would say community is very important, especially as women. And, like, Anna said, there's such a huge space right now for women in tech and for you to get noticed. I know, yeah, people say, oh yeah, there are also men in tech and stuff like that. But well, it's our time to really show that we can do it. And it's something we need to prove to ourselves and also the world. So definitely communities like this are really great, like Tech for Dev included. And I encourage everyone, join as many communities as you like. There's no limits. Just contribute the ones you can contribute to, learn from the ones you can learn, and just enjoy, have a good time while at it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bukola. So I think I'm still going to direct another question to you because there's a lot of background story to how community have actually helped you reach where you are, right? So now looking back at your younger self, right, would there be an advice that you would give to yourself or to those starting out in the tech career?
Yes, especially to my younger self. I was afraid and I was scared that I was not, great at what I was doing. So I didn't really put myself out there as much as maybe I could have. And, it's not for everyone to, put like, be super active on social media or be super active on LinkedIn or Twitter, but I think one thing is sharing my knowledge out there is something I wish I started doing, when I started more. I did do it to an extent, but I wish I did more of that because not only would that have helped me, it would have also helped more people, more than I could reach, through the communities. So definitely encourage you to write about what write about it, make a video about it, blog about it, do as much as you can to share the knowledge that you have, because believe it or not, there's someone out there, willing to, pay you for the knowledge that you have. The knowledge you're thinking is not sufficient enough. There's a company out there, or there's, a team out there that needs someone exactly like you. And, it definitely makes your job search more easy when you have things to show that, oh, this is the knowledge I have and this is how I've used it to, make an outreach and things like that. So it's definitely one advice I would have given myself, because finding jobs was like the ghetto. Yeah. Finding internships was the ghetto, but doing things like that, it doesn't matter how many people read your articles, it doesn't matter how many people watch your blog, those things don't matter. What matters is that you actually do it. And that's what could get you the opportunity that you're just looking for. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Bukola, for sharing. Really appreciate that, insightful advice. So I'm going to move over to Ezra. So Ezra, what would be your professional advice, that the best professional advice you've received, and maybe, about your career in terms of project management? How would you, you know, maybe I know there are some ladies who are here who are maybe towards the project management team, and project management has to do with working with cross-functional team, right? So what is the professional advice that you would, give to ladies on here?
Okay, so for the first part about the best professional advice that I've received in my career, I think I was like 4 or 5 years way into my career, and then I've received an advice that you need to get out of the building. And then when I asked, what does this mean? My manager told me, okay, you are sitting fixated to your screen all the time. You need to understand what people are doing around you, what the other teams are doing around you, how the company is structured, what technologies and services do we deliver to our customers. So it clicked with me because it's very important to understand what's going on around you inside the company. It's a door opener. You have to make proper connections within your company and outside of your company as well. And if you stay just focused on what you're doing, which is great, by the way, you have to focus when you need to focus. But at the same time, you have to understand what's happening around you, not just when it comes to tech, but also when it comes to the culture of the company, to the different opportunities. And when you talk to other people from different departments, you will get inspired for sure. And you will find areas that you can improve. You will find practices that you can apply yourself. And this is very common and very easily done, especially when you're starting out in your career, when you're just starting as developer or tester or whatever. You will definitely find good, valuable advices here and there and good insights here and there from different people in different teams. So don't just sit at your desk, but don't waste the whole day. You just have to keep moving. As for the advice that I'll give the ladies who, especially for project management, project management is definitely an interesting field where you have to be really organized when you're trying to do the work. And working with cross-functional teams is very tricky because you're not the boss of anyone, but at the same time, you have to get the project moving. It really depends on the structure that you have in your company. But you have to learn a skill of being influential without being an actual manager. You need to be a leader. So this is really, really the tricky part. So if you are working in a style of, okay, I told you to do this and you did not finish it, so this is not going well. If you have this attitude, you will never get anything out of anyone. But if you have an attitude of that, we are one team, we are working together, tell me how can I help, tell me how can I remove this impediment that you have, then you will definitely win people on your side and you'll definitely have a much better chance at getting a good career. And there's a lot of courses out there, definitely PMP, for project management professional. You can check Google project management certificate. This is also one thing that you can check. And project management really comes with seniority. So you have to be at the right level and you have to be at really good maturity to be able to do it. And don't think that because you're doing project management, you don't have to understand technicalities, because this is a mistake. You don't understand technicalities. I'm not saying you have to understand the code itself, but you have to understand what is the product doing, how is it running, what is the process, what comes first and what comes last, and how you can resolve issues and impediments, and how you can make people work as a team. All of that without being actually manager of anyone on the team.
Yeah,
and by this more or less applies also for product management, because you're not really a manager of anyone.
Okay, that is very, very insightful, Ezra. I think I'm going to, key into this advice because, I myself is moving towards product management, and this is really helpful. Thank you so much, Ezra. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if Anna is still on the call. I can't see her from my end. Hi, Anna. Okay, I was hoping maybe we could hear, like final words from Anna about, you know, the career in tech and paths to follow. But yeah, so that leaves me with Bukola. So what is your, final words for the ladies here who are looking to, go into tech?
Thank you, Cynthia. I think my final words would be just, get started. Start anyhow you can, anywhere you can. There's no strict path or strict journey. You can start out as a product designer and end up in product management. You can start out as a software engineer and end up somewhere else. There's a whole lots of different career paths for you. But the thing is, once you get started, you learn more about yourself, you learn more about your skills, and you'll be able to decide the next step for you going forward. We even have software engineers who transitioned into product design and UX research and things like that. There's so many things, but if you never get started and if you don't believe in yourself and focus on your skills, you'll never be able to grow. So in order to grow, you need to understand yourself and feel free to explore as much as you want. Don't feel limited. Don't feel like you started this, you have to complete it, you have to see it to the end. Sometimes it's okay to switch, it's okay to take a different direction, and it's always okay to start again. You might be switching to something different and you might be a beginner in that field, but the truth is, because of your experience as either a software engineer, product designer, it's going to help you move forward. It's going to help you grow, and it's going to help you be a valuable member of any team you join because you have knowledge in a particular area that you're bringing into this new field that you're trying out. So don't be afraid to start. Don't be afraid to fail. Believe in yourself, and just keep moving.
Thank you so much, Bukola. So I'm really grateful I got to speak with awesome ladies like yourself, Ezra, Bukola, and Anna, who just left. I think I'm about to round up this session, and I will take the last word as I'm the moderator. I think I've been doing a lot of questions and answering. So my advice for every single lady on here is that you are worth it, right? Know your worth. If you have any career path in tech you want to go into, just go into it. Just like Ezra said, just do it, right? You have to push yourself to do it first, and you need to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, no matter how many people you have around you, you would not get inspired to do it, right? So just do it. Pick from Bukala's cheat sheets when she talked about community. Go online, check for communities that are going to help you one way or the other. There are a lot of career paths in tech, be it software development, product design, content management, product management, data science, etc. There are a lot of things for you to do, and every single one of you are awesome, right? So this is where I drop the mic for Alright to come in. Thank you so much.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Ezra. Thank you, Bukola. Thank you, Cynthia. That was amazing. My notes is filled up right now, and I learned a whole lot from that. Thank you. I'm pretty sure we did too. Please, I feel like you could just say something what you learned, the most amazing things that you learned. Just let us know. Let us know in the comment section, right? I can see some people already, saying that. So we'll quickly move into the Q&A session, and we have quite a number of persons who have dropped messages here for us on the Q&A, and I'll just be asking us different questions. This is our panelists, by the way. So we have people who have dropped questions, and it would be so I'll just take this, and I think I'd like to start with Ezra. Hi, Ezra. um, Someone is asking here that she would like to start a non-code related, code related career. What are the options, and how possible is it? Ezra, so just give an answer to that.
Okay, so you're saying the question is non-code related career, right?
Yes, non-code related careers in tech. What are the options, and how possible is it?
Okay, so there's definitely several options. I think Cynthia already mentioned a few of them, like product design, if you feel like product design is the thing that you want to do. But also there's testing, which I think is a very, very excellent track, being a QA engineer. You don't have to actually be from not necessarily engineering, computer science, or something like that. It depends if it's for mobile and web. I don't believe you have to be from actually engineering background or computer science background, but it's a very good track, in fact. You can also look at digital marketing. I think digital marketing also is one of the things that are on the trend now. These are the couple of things that I can think of, and for sure, product management. If you feel like you have this skill and you have this stamina, mental stamina to do a job like product management, you can go into an associate product manager role, or which will be very good because you will not be really under a lot of stress as you go up in your career. So these are the kind of options that you can have. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for that. And I'm Cynthia, there's actually a question here for you. I think in the course of your while moderating, you mentioned something about pages and groups that people can go to, I think on Twitter. Do you have that to share?
Cynthia or Bukola?
Cynthia,
Myself?
no, I said Cynthia. Yes. The question was your name that was put up there. But if you have any, you could just you'd like to share with us. Okay.
Yeah. So like resources to help for your career. Yes. So with community, I think She Code Africa is a very good place to be for women in tech. I myself am a member of She Code Africa, and where you can also learn is ADP list. You can get awesome mentors. I mean, the list is unlimited. You can get a lot of people who are ready to speak with you. Like minds. If you have questions, you can go on there. And for resources, I think there are various. I'm not really into Twitter or Instagram, but I know it's a very good place. You could just go search for what you're most interested in, and you definitely see threads, you see resources that are being shared there. And of course, LinkedIn is a very, very good place for you to connect in terms of career, in terms of job opportunity, and in terms of just putting yourself out there. I feel like LinkedIn is like an awesome place for you, so you just have to maximize it.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much for that, Cynthia. Bukola, on to you. There are quite a number of questions here, and your name was tagged. Well, I think we'll just start with this one. Someone would like to know what the difference between software development and web development is. So, you could just speak to that, Bukola.
That's a very interesting question. I don't know if there's like a huge difference, but yeah, so web development basically is restricted, saying you only build for the web, right? Meaning you could either be front end or back end building for the web, right? And then in some cases, people might consider software development as a more general field to say, you're building software, meaning you're building maybe not just web things, but also things that can be installed, software that can be installed on your phone, software, maybe you're writing programs for software to use, you're writing APIs for software, you're building the user experience or the user interface for software and things like that. So I would say software is more broader, but web is just saying I only build for the web, and then software is just like a whole bunch of things that are under it.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's not really like a strict, yeah.
Okay, all right. So still on you, Bukola, I think there's a question here for you. So it says, hi Bukola, I've been a solo learner. May I have the names of those useful YouTube classes and others that were instrumental to your growth?
Yeah, sure. I can post a couple of links. I've been posting some links already on the chat. So I'll try and post a couple of useful YouTube channels that I'm subscribed to. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Bukola. And I have another question here that I think Asia would be perfect person to answer. So this says, I'm someone who is in their early 30s. I want to start a career in tech. Is there age limitations when it comes to hiring?
That's a very good question. I would say that I believe there should not be, but it really depends on what kind of company you're trying to get into. If you're trying to get into, let's say, a big corporate it depends on the country, depends on the policies that they have. They might be more keen onto having someone with a relevant background, but you can definitely find your spot maybe in, let's say, startups, let's say in small, medium enterprises. So there is no rule to just say yes or no. If you believe you have the skill, if you believe you're capable, just write a very strong CV and make it oriented towards your key skills that you believe will help you in your tech position. And don't like just fixate on the things that you know or knew how to do. Make it more oriented towards the position that you want to enter. But there is no rule fits all. So this is just my quick answer to that. And I think I might want to add to the other question related to software development and web development, if that's okay. Okay, so as Bukola said, that the software development is more of the general idea about behind whatever software applications that we do. We have embedded systems, which is the background that I mostly worked at. We have mobile application development, web development. But the key thing is that you have the technology or the tech stacks, and then you have the best practices or the software development in general, and that you need to develop your skills at understanding how the software cycle runs, software engineering cycle runs, and you need to build a strong understanding as well of the algorithms and key concepts behind software engineering. And then you will choose a tech stack that you like. So you might like mobile, you might like front end, back end, you might want to use React, you might want to use other framework. So this is totally up to you. But the basics really is the thing that you have to master.
All right, thank you very much for that response. And I'm still on you, Ezra. So there's a question here about, please, what are the relevant tech skills I need to start with as a novice? So this is someone who is starting, like who is a novice in tech, and she would like to know the relevant tech skills are that she needs to start a career in tech.
Okay, I might steal some of what I've said just 1 minute ago. Is that you really have to understand well the concepts of software engineering. Is it okay? Can you hear me now?
Yes. Please go ahead.
So when you're starting out, you need to focus on the basics and concepts of in tech. You have to focus on the basics of programming, algorithms, how how software engineering cycle works, how you write good requirements, how you do proper testing, how you really release a quality software and make sure that it's proper and tested well. So I think this is what you need to be focusing on. When you master the basics, then you can today learn Python, tomorrow you learn C++, after tomorrow you learn something else. It's totally up to you, but you have to master the basics first.
Thank you. Could you just expatiate a bit on that mastering the basics? Just specifics, so those on the call can actually know what to look out for when they are looking.
Okay, what I mean by basics is that let's say, for example, let's take an example. Okay, the basics of how you write good requirements, how you write proper requirements that are I wouldn't say flawless, but they are not really prone to be changed a lot. How do you test your software properly? And then you have to understand when to use the algorithms, which algorithms to use in which cases, how to write software that is optimal, that doesn't really eat up all of your memory or eat up all of your runtime. How do you catch the errors early on? And so these are the kind of basics that I'm talking about. And I'm sure that there's courses online that you can find on Harvard and MITx, on EDX. They are free. You can take them for free. that can give you these good intro to these basics that I'm talking about.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for that, Edra. That was really insightful. So I see a couple of questions here as regards software development and Bukola. So there's this question I'd like to, it's two questions, but I think I can merge them into one. So the question goes, how can I brand myself as a software developer? And what are really the things involved for a software developer? Hi, Bukola. So that's a question for you.
Sorry, I didn't get the first one is, how do I brand myself?
How can I brand myself, yes, as a software developer, and what really are the things involved in for a software developer being in software development?
Okay, so I'll start with the branding. Like I mentioned, when I was asked, oh, what's one advice I wish I could give myself, when I was starting out, and that is, putting yourself out there. So like I mentioned, start a blog, write about your learnings. No matter what you learn, write about it. No matter how easy it might have been for you, someone else might be having challenges understanding this thing, so one very good way to create a brand for yourself, or to become known by people as a software developer, which I'm still also learning, is putting your work out there. Write, blog. If you like making videos, people, loads of tech folks have YouTube channels where they talk about what they do, and they even go as far as having actual workshops and things like that. So if you feel like you want to record yourself, or record yourself solving a complex problem and things like that, those are really great ways for you to build your brand. When you have all these things, share them on LinkedIn or your social media platform that you prefer. I personally prefer LinkedIn, because I'm able to network with people that I know are, doing similar things as I am, and also follow people that are, branded as software developers or whatever field it is you're looking for. There's so many tech influencers out there and tech enthusiasts that, are constantly talking about what they do. And there is a whole field for it actually that I think it's called developer advocacy. You have people doing this, on a daily, that's like their day job, to advocate for developers and things like that. So if you're looking to get into fields like that, you really have to put yourself out there, have to talk about the work you're doing, you have to post things that you're learning, help people learn, and also volunteer to speak at events. And like I said, joining a community is important. Being a part of a community also helps your personal branding in that way, because that way you're part of a community of people who didn't know you before, and now they know you, and then more people get to know you, and then you're constantly building an audience for your articles or your blog posts and things like that. So yeah, definitely just keep putting yourself out there and keep writing or blogging about the things you're doing. So that's first. Yeah, and then the second one is, what are the qualities, or what does it take?
Yeah, what's really involved in being a software developer? What does it mean to be a software developer?
I think this is a very similar question to the questions that Esra has talked about, right? Understanding the stack you want to focus on, because you can't do everything. There are so many programming languages out there and so many different stacks, from DevOps to front end, and she also mentioned embedded systems, there's robotics, there's so many things. So I think picking one and starting out there is very important. So the first thing is, when you pick that field, then you now dive deep into it and say, I want to understand everything it entails to become, a UI designer, or to become a DevOps engineer, or to become a front-end developer. So those are the things. So one of the first qualities I would say that would help you do that is, focusing. Don't try to do too many things at once. Focus on one, try to go as deep as you can, try to understand everything it takes, like, Ezra mentioned, try to understand the life cycle of that thing, try to understand the stack that you are, you prefer, if you prefer to use React, or you prefer to use Vue.js, those are, things, focus on one thing as much as you can. Another thing is, always be open to learning, because even within this chosen stack that you decided to go with, things are constantly changing. There are new libraries, there are new plugins, there are new ways of doing things. So have an open mind to always learning. You can't learn everything at once. At the same time, new things are coming. So you always have to be open to learning, always have to be open to reading, watching tutorials, constantly improving your skills. You need to have that sense of continuous improvement in whatever stack it is or whatever you decide to focus on. Another thing I would say that is really involved is understanding, and I think Ezra mentioned this, understanding that life cycle. You've chosen your stack and, you decided to learn it and you're focusing on it, but it's also really good for you to say, oh, I'm a front-end developer and I notice, all the things I use, or the backend stores a lot of data in this database. Learn about it, don't say, oh, if I'm not using this, I'm not going to learn about it. Sometimes it's having the idea of how things work actually makes your own work easier. It actually helps you understand better flows and better systems. So learn about databases, learn about memory, learn about speed, learn about the document on the web, learn about so many things. Try and learn about everything that is within your area of focus and understand them. So I think those are probably some of what it takes to become a software developer. It's really just about the mind, as compared to skills. If your mind is not, focused and, open, I doubt you'll be able to learn as much and keep up with this, fast-paced industry. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Bukola, for that. I believe that quite a number of people would have learned a whole lot from that. And just before we go to our last question for Ezra, I've been seeing a lot of questions about the Women Techsters program and how, if you'd like to know more, what next after this, just sit back and relax. We'll be getting onto that very. One more question that I would like you to ask. So the question talks about, you've been sharing your experiences in tech, and it shows that at least you are vast in different areas of tech. So the question would be, what's your advice for newbies so that they can also, get into tech and still harness all that comes with tech? And there's also a question that someone quickly added here that you need to be good in mathematics to be successful in this field. So Ezra, you could just take that for us.
Okay, I think the question is saying that what is the advice for the newbies to still harness all that comes with tech? I think you shouldn't really overwhelm yourself. This is the key point. Okay, so there is always something new. There's always something different, and you just try to explore. Be very light. Okay, so today there is ChatGPT. Okay, you can try to understand it and so on. There's tomorrow you can take a quick course about machine learning, deep learning, or whatever, and then try it very lightly. I would say that if you want to really harness everything that comes with tech, try to find these courses that really give you a very shallow, quick overview. And if you really find it interesting, deep dive. So for example, you can find on Udemy, some of these courses like crash courses. Okay, it gives you very light, speedy introduction about the topic, some hands-on practices, and then once you get used to them, you might find it interesting, you might not find it interesting. This is totally normal, but don't overwhelm yourself. Just understand what is the topic from high level, and this can be enough. Because if you really overwhelm yourself, you might feel that you cannot do it, which is total opposite from what we are trying to tell you today for the last hour and a half. For the other part, do you have to be good at mathematics? It really depends on what kind of technology stack you're trying to get into. Let me speak from my experience. For some of the products that I've worked at in Valeo, you really had to be very good at mathematics, not just mathematics, you had to be a power control, so different aspects of engineering in order to develop the right software. Also, sometimes if you're working on some complex systems, like for Apple or for Google, things that are based on machine learning, you have to be good at mathematics for sure. So it really depends on what you want to do. But let's say, for example, if you take the front end approach, then maybe this is not really mandatory. It's not really a must. for some other products that you might be working on might not be a must, more focused on customer experience. This is more what you need to be mastering or understanding well. So it really depends. It's not, there's no one rule. There's a lot of technology fields where you can participate in. And if math is not your choice, then don't overwhelm yourself with it.
Hey, don't overwhelm yourself. Okay.
I was just going to
add something.
Yes, I just wanted to add that, but it's good that you have a good understanding about how to analyze things, how to debug issues, and how to problem solve.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much for that, Ezra. Thank you so much, Cynthia. Thank you so much, Bukola. Thank you so much, all of our speakers and our panelists. It has been an amazing session, and I'm pretty sure the via chat, the chat right now is blowing up with so many thank yous from a lot of ladies who have been enlightened. And just before we round up here, I'd just like for us to take pictures. I believe personally that pictures are a way of capturing memories in moments. So if you would like to join us in the pictures, for those of our attendees, kindly just raise your hand. You'll be promoted. I think the first like 5, 8, 10 persons will be promoted to panelists, and then we can all turn on our videos and take pictures. So we'll be turning on our videos now to take pictures. If you are an attendee and you'd like to join us in the picture section, just raise your hand and you'll be promoted. Oh boy, I can already see the hands up. Okay, so I'll be promoting you to panelists. Please remember you need to turn on your video in order to take the picture. So please make sure that you have a good background and there's not so much distraction. So our picture rather comes out looking really, really nice. So I've promoted some people to panelists right now, and you can just open your turn your video on, and I want to see the smiles. Let's see that you've learned a whole lot. Okay, awesome. I can already see some of us. I can see Pamela, I can see Victoria, I can see Rebecca. Oh wow, I like this. Okay. Hi Tony, are we ready to take our picture?
Yeah, I was just seeing a lot of hands. I was wondering if I could promote more people, right? But
yes, that's what I'm trying to do. Yes.
The hands are just as much as I think we'll just make do with what we have, right?
Yes.
So yeah.
So I want everyone to smile brightly. Yes. So please turn on your videos. Awesome. If you're in the panelist section, please turn on your videos so everyone can see you. And we'll be saying cheese
so
right now.
Taking the video at the I'll take the pictures at the count of 3. So that nobody's caught unawares.
Yeah, I will be saying women in tech once we hear 3, 2, 1. So please, you can just unmute that. Okay.
So in 3, in 2, 1, let's go.
Women in tech. You can unmute and say women in tech.
I'll slide you. Sorry.
So you can unmute and actually say women. So instead of saying cheese, we are saying women in tech. So can we do that? So 23, 2, 1.
Okay.
And everybody just.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Women in
tech. Beautiful, just like me.
Wow.
But that's right.
Wow, I absolutely love that. Thank you so much, everyone. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you once again, Ezra. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Paula. And thank you, Anna, also in absentia. I mean, it was mind-blowing. We learned a lot. My notepad is full right now. And I know that quite a number of ladies also have the same testimony. So, ladies, feel free to let us know, how the session was. We'll be posting some of our social media handles now. You can follow us across all social media. You can follow us on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Twitter at Tech for Them, and just let us know, tag us on your posts on Twitter, on LinkedIn. How was this session exactly? You know, what was the in thing for you? What was the most, you know, what's that unique thing that, you know, you learned from this program? And please do also follow our speakers. I already sent some of their bios, but it will be put up again in the comment section, you know, their bios on LinkedIn. And you know, you can just follow them. You would learn a whole lot from them, from Cynthia, from you know, Ezra, from Paula, from Anna. And now onto the part that, you know, quite a number of us have been waiting for. So we've been seeing quite a lot of questions about you know, women in tech, what to do after this class, and you know, you really want to start a career in tech, and it's like, okay, what next? What do I go? Well, you are in the right place. So for the last over 1 hour 30 minutes, you have been listening to women who have successfully built a career in tech, and you know, they share their experience as to how they started, you know, challenges they faced, milestones they were able to overcome. They've shared communities and things that were, you know, helpful. And what we do here at Tech for Dev is exactly that. So the open day is the first of, you know, the Women Techsters initiative in Tech for Dev. And what we do is we help young ladies kickstart their tech careers, and it's all at no cost. Yes, all of our programs are for free. So this is the open day that you're on. And if you'd like to know more, the next thing for you to do first is to follow us across all social media. Why? Because we post new things as regards, you know, our programs, what coming up next, what exactly we are doing there. So if you're not following us on social media, how are you going to know? So first thing to do once again is you know, follow us across social media. Then you get to, you know, see posts about all of our programs. And of course, the next program to, you know, sign up for is our bootcamp. Now, our Women Techsters Bootcamp is a 3-month intensive program where you actually get, you know, a starter course on what it's like to, you know, start a career in tech. We have our bootcamp covers 5 major learning tracks. We have cybersecurity, we have product design, we have product management, we have, you know, software development. And once registration for our bootcamp starts, because we have, it's a monthly program. Once it starts, it's always uploaded on our social media platforms, and so you get to know about it. Which is why once again I reiterated that it's important you are following us across all social media platforms, so you get to know once you know, opening for application for our bootcamp starts, whichever cohort. The next cohort that is going to start will be starting, I think, next week, if I'm very sure, next week, March. And so if you'd like to know more, if you'd like to join the next cohort, make sure you stay glued to our social media pages. And of course, after that is our fellowship. So the Women Techsters Fellowship, it's a 1-year program divided into 6 months of training and 6 months of internship. And it covers 8 learning tracks from product design, product management, to software development, to 3D mixed reality, to cybersecurity, data science, and a whole lot more. And application, we are currently rounding up the current fellowship. We'll be rounding up very soon. And so applications for the next fellowship is going to start quite soon. So you would want to know, in order to make sure that you don't miss out on this information, like I said, be sure you are following us on social media. If you check the chat now, links to all of our social media platforms are being sent there. And of course, we have the masterclass. The masterclass is for women who have already begun a career in tech. So if you've begun a career in tech and you started for the last, you know, 6 months plus, you come on our masterclass, and then, you know, you get to learn from, you know, like minds like you who have, you know, started their career in tech, and, you know, who can help whatever issues or it is that you are going through in your current phase, wherever it is that you are in tech. So once again, we have our open day, then we have our Women Techsters Bootcamp, we have our Women Techsters Fellowship, and we have our Women Techsters Masterclass. So those are the programs that we have under the Women Techsters initiative. And once you are following us across all social media platforms, you definitely be in the know of everything that is happening. Once again, we would like to thank all of our panelists, all of our speakers, our moderator Cynthia. Very wonderful. So thank you so much, Ezra. Thank you so much, Bukola. Thank you so much, Anna. You should be following them on social media if you are not following them. And thank you to all of our attendees. Thank you so much for taking out time to attend this beautiful program created for you. We hope you're able to learn something. We hope you're able to have something to take back home. And we hope you've seen more than one reason why you should be a woman in tech. Once again, ensure that you let us know on social media everything that you learned. What was how it was. At this point, we would like to bid you all adieu. Thank you once again for sticking around. Thank you once again for coming and listening. Thank you once again for thank you once again to all of our panelists for making sure that today's session was actually a success. My name once again is Jerolu Adetula. I'm a programs associate at Tech for Dev. And at this point, we would like to say bye, everybody. Do have a wonderful evening. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a
Bye.
Thank you, Ezra. Thank you, Cynthia.